Hey, how you doing? Good morning, everybody. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just have some news from Plarium. First off, we'll talk about my news first, and we'll talk about Plarium's news. My news is sadly, we were going to do a stream last night, and I do apologize. We were going to do a clan boss takeover, but the guy just never got back to me. He told me he fell asleep. That happens. Shit happens. We'll probably plan for one, probably Friday night at some time. I am off of my work until next Monday, so it's pretty good. Okay, let's talk about Plarium. Here we go. Plarium did something very shitty and very backhanded to the community. People that the too long didn't watch version, if you got this far, is if you're going for Ugar, he's a much better champion now because they're going to buff him. If you're not going for Ugar, you're going to be pissed because you didn't go for him because they buffed him and he's actually pretty decent. Okay, so let's talk about it. Here's what they say. Hey, folks, some cool news about Ugar the Worm Eater. The team is making some technical changes to the battle processor flow, meaning that Ugar the Worm Eater's passive skill will be affected by these changes. Thus, his passive skill will be triggered not only when the enemy is revived using an active skill, but also by passive skill or revive on death buff. So such champs as Sun Wukong, Marichka, and Marichka the Unbreakable, etc. will be able to trigger Ugar's passive skill. The change will also live in one of the upcoming updates as it requires a bit more time to be executed, but just wanted to give you a heads up in exchange, or in advance, sorry. Acid reflux, it shit happens. Okay, so this is my fucking headcanon theory, my conspiracy theory. They coded Ugar so badly for that passive ability that, because remember the last time they said, well, it works against Lydia the Death Siren, which it shouldn't. Right? The way it reads, this passive ability shouldn't work against Lydia because it is not a active revive. It is a passive skill revive, like Sun Wukong, like Marichka. But something tells me that they coded this ability so fucking badly that they just were like, listen, we're not going to spend all this time to make it right, to make it how it's worded. So we're just going to change the description of the passive skill, announce it to the player base, and be like, this is actually how it works now. It's going to be this way. When in all actuality, it just always worked that way and they just never were able to fix it because they just coded it shittily. That's my headcanon theory. You can tell me I'm fucking wrong or not in the comments below. I probably am wrong. I'm wrong almost all the time. So here we are. But that's just me. Yeah, this doesn't take a person that has a fucking degree in anything to understand that this is a very bad move on Plarium's part. Because most of the player base is not going for this fusion, and this actually feels like a spiteful thing as well, with Plarium being like, well, fuck it, we're going to buff him, and haha, guess what, you didn't go for it, you're not getting it. Because this champion, you have to do every single event that was a summoning event and everything, which a bunch of us skipped on because he wasn't worth it, to get all the shards, exactly 100. There was no extra shards anywhere for this guy. There's no extra summoning event for this weekend at all, because here's another thing. It's Black Friday weekend. They're going to be selling shards, but they also, in my opinion, right, they were like, well, we don't want to give you an extra chance to get extra shards, extra fragments for this guy, because we know you're going to be summoning this weekend, so they're not wanting to give you that extra bonus reward for it. You understand what I'm saying? Right? This literally is like your drunken, abusive stepmom just beating the dog shit out of you. Whatever. I'm trying not to be negative, but this is you wake up to this as a wholly negative thing. Okay. Yeah. What a fucking bummer. What a bummer, Plarium. I want to say you're better than this, but you're not. This is also why I'm never going to be in the content creator program, because I just talk mad shit all the time. Because like you, I am a player that has spent cold, hard cash on this game, and this game keeps kicking me in the nuts. But it's like I'm like a heroin addict, I just keep going back to it. I'm going back to it. I'm going back to it. This actually, a little tangent here. I watched that Boogie 2988 fucking documentary, by the way. Watch that documentary, and then right when you realize, when he starts talking about like, well, it's my only hobby, it's the only thing I have, that's why I keep buying all this shit. When he's talking about like gaming and collectibles and stuff. And I guarantee you fucking said that about Raid Shadow Legends if you're still spending. And I'll tell you right now, it felt just as bad in your stomach as it did in mine. I'm at a fucking loss for words. So, all right, we'll see you in the next video. I'm fucking done.